All You Need to Know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and happy Friday to you. This is the All You Need to Know podcast on Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 24th of July. The number of COVID-19 cases in India continues to rise at the highest pace yet. Yesterday, the Health Ministry reported that the number of cases rose by over 45,000 in the 24 hours to 8 a.m., taking the total tally to over 12.3 lakh. But of the total, more than 7.8 lakh have recovered so far. Speaking of the coronavirus, this week on the Weekend Personal Finance podcast, that's BQ Big Decisions, I'll be talking about health insurance and what you need to bear in mind when you set out to buy a policy both for yourself and your family. We'll also be discussing the Corona Kavach policies that were launched just a couple of weeks back, so watch out for that. In the top news, India has restricted vendors based in bordering countries from supplying goods and services to government departments, citing national security. This must be seen in the context of the recent border tensions with China. Suppliers from nations sharing a border with India will now have to register with a competent authority comprising officers from Commerce, Home and Foreign Ministries to be eligible to bid for procurement of goods and services by public departments. In the real estate space, the government-backed fund for stressed housing projects has approved investments worth 8,767 crore in 81 projects. Among these projects, investments in 18 have received final clearance, according to the Ministry of Finance. These include projects by Mantri developers, Naman Group, Lodha Group, and Ansal Housing, among others. According to SBI Cap Ventures, which manages the special fund, there are currently about 4.58 lakh stalled housing units that require 55,000 crore rupees for completion. In the top global news, US jobless claims rose last week for the first time since March, the clearest indication yet of a pause in economic recovery there. This is primarily because many states went back into lockdown after a surge in coronavirus cases. Initial claims through regular state programs increased to 1.42 million in the week ended the 18th of July, up 109,000 from the prior week. That's had a bearing on US stock markets, which have been on a bit of a tear lately. The three averages ended lower by between 1.2 and 2.3%. Equity markets in the Asia-Pacific region have also begun in the red. In corporate news back home, Axis Bank has picked advisors including BNP Paribas SA and Credit Suisse Group AG to manage its proposed share sale. That's based on a Bloomberg report. The bank has also chosen HSBC Holdings and UBS Group for the offering. Axis Bank plans to seek at least $1.3 billion from institutional investors, though it hasn't finalized the fundraising target. Former Reserve Bank of India Governor Raghuram Rajan has weighed in on the issue of central banks, including the RBI, monetizing government debt. He was giving the keynote address at the DBS Asian Insights Conference yesterday when he said that there's a limit to how much central banks can expand their balance sheets. He was also quoted as saying, "We have put economies into a temporary coma, and when they awaken, it will be overly optimistic to assume that everyone will walk off from the sleeping bed and come back to full life." Unquote. In international news, US Secretary of State Michael Pompeo cast China's leaders as tyrants bent on global hegemony. He said yesterday that President Xi Jinping isn't destined to tyrannize inside and outside China forever unless the people of the US let him. He also said that securing freedom from the Chinese Communist Party was the mission of our time. The language used is similar to that used during the Cold War with the Soviet Union. And with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex, and a happy Friday, listeners. Well, we can expect a soft opening this morning considering the kind of strength that we have seen of late over the past few days. The SGX Nifty Futures is currently down around 61 points, and we can expect some softness in opening this morning. But we start with earnings as usual. Right at the top we have Biocon, and the earnings are mixed because we have seen a 14% growth in its revenue and margins have contracted substantially, in fact coming at around 24.7% versus 30%. Its net profit consequently has also declined 26%, but the headline numbers are ahead of consensus expectations. Moving on to Mphasis, again a weak quarter sequentially, net sales declining 2.5%, margins also contracting to 15.7%. That's a contraction of around 60 basis points, and this is actually when a lot of market participants were expecting an expansion. Net profit declined 22% sequentially, so not the best of quarters for Mphasis either. And we also have earnings from AU Small Finance Bank, where its net interest income grew 30% year on year, and net profit up 5.5%. Naturally, a lot of this had to do with higher provisioning, which stood at 181 crores versus 31.5 crores. In terms of earnings today, we will be watching out for ITC, Asian Paints, Z Entertainment, JSW Steel, and Ambuja Cement, among many others. Moving beyond earnings, we have Wipro, which has signed a definitive agreement to acquire 4C, one of Salesforce's largest partner in UK, Europe, and Middle East for 68 million euros. And we also have an update from Adani Transmission for its first quarter. It says the transmission lines are operating at a greater than 99.5% availability, and there is no adverse impact on billing. The continued lockdown has resulted in migration of resources affecting project execution work due to non-availability of workforce and disruption of allied services. Now, currently, distribution losses stand at 13.5% versus 7.8%, where losses increased on provisional average billing according to a company statement. Now, these are just some of the stocks we can watch out for as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website BloombergQuint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day and an even better week.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.